Hey, what is going on, guys? In this video today, we're going to be going over how to win the Authority every time in Season 3. Based on the games I played so far, the Authority has all the makings of the hot drop for Season 3. It's a mythic POI, which means it has a boss that drops crazy loot and a vault that drops more crazy loot. It has a lot of chests, and probably most importantly, it's actually the most central spot on the entire map. So if you're looking to get high kill or even just high action games, I think this is definitely your best bet, and it's where you're going to see me land in probably 90+% of the gameplays I get this season. Now the interesting thing about the Authority is it's very similar to the Agency in some regards, but there are also a bunch of key differences. And honestly, I think in general, the Authority is actually an upgrade over the Agency. So we're going to talk about the differences between the old and new Agency, the route I use, as well as some various tips to help you survive and conquer the POI. So without further ado, let's get right into it. Alright, so probably the biggest change with the Authority is what happened to the boss. It's no longer Midas dropping the super OP mythic drum gun, it's now Jules dropping a very not OP mythic drum gun, but she also drops a modified grappler. In case you haven't seen it in action yet, if you remember back during Season X, I believe, when Fortnite did the Batman Gotham promo, it works pretty much the same way as the Bat Grappler. It connects to things like a normal grappler, but then when you hit the highest point of your grapple, it allows you to redeploy if you want to. So it's really just as good as the old Mythic Grappler for repositioning in fights and going from low to high ground without using any mats. Plus, it also gives you the bonus of covering long distances incredibly quickly with the redeploy feature. So it's probably the single most important item in the entire game if you want to constantly get into fights and get a lot of kills. Another big difference between the Authority and the Agency is actually the quality of loot in the Henchman chest and the vault. In the Agency, Henchman chests definitely weren't bad, so to say, but a lot of the time they were pretty meh. You'd frequently open one and get like a Silent Sniper, Silent Scar, and Decoy grenades. Sure, you'd get minis and bigs from time to time, but you'd never really open one of those chests and go, oh man, I'm absolutely stacked now. The Henchman chests in the Authority, though, are a whole different story. I honestly think I've gotten a shield item from every Henchman chest I've opened so far this season. It seems like every time you either get 3 minis, 6 minis, 4 chug splashes, or a combination of both. And not only is the amount of shield really good from these chests, but the weapons you get from them got a huge upgrade as well. You're pretty much guaranteed either a rapid fire SMG or regular Scar, and sometimes you'll even get both. I kid you not, yesterday I opened a Henchman chest that gave me a gold Scar, a purple Scar, 3 minis, and 2 chug splashes. I mean, that's better than a lot of full vaults worth of loot from the old Agency. And speaking of the vault, since that contains multiple different Henchman chests, the loot in there obviously got a buff as well. It seems like you get a lot more shield now, and you're pretty much guaranteed a Scar or 2. Another important change with the Authority is the weapons the henchmen have and drop when you kill them. In the Agency, they'd mostly have either a Silent Scar or minigun, but now it seems like the most common weapons are rapid fire SMGs, P90s, and regular ARs. So it's important to note that if you keep your distance against a rapid fire or P90 henchman, they can't really hurt you that much. But if you get up close, they can absolutely melt you, and trust me, I'm talking from experience here. So now that you guys understand some of the key changes with the Authority, let's sort of break down the opening route that I try to use in most games. Keep in mind that obviously you want to be willing to change your route depending on the position of enemies and various other factors. I'll take slightly different routes to chase kills or loot all the time, but this is probably the most ideal one in my opinion. So just like I used to do in the Agency, I always land on the east side of the building. However, instead of landing towards the top, I instead land one floor above ground level now. The spot I like to land at has a door that leads into the main building, and then a red metal square right next to it that you can break and get a chest from. However, the only time you ever want to go for that chest inside the metal square is if you're 100% sure that nobody is landing near you. And with how populated this place is most games, that's not bound to happen very frequently. It takes about 7 to 8 pickaxe swings to break the metal and get to the chest, so you just leave yourself way too exposed while doing that. So my plan in most games is to ignore that, and once I land, go straight through the door. From there, you want to start going up the staircase, and you'll immediately find a chest to loot. Once you've done that, you want to continue going up the stairs until you reach the middle level where there's a chest in front of you. This is a super common spawn spot for Jules, so you want to do a quick check for her first. If you see her, obviously kill her, and if you don't, then quickly check the surrounding area for enemies and loot the chest. If you didn't kill Jules, from there you want to go outside into the little room next to the reboot van and first loot the chest. Then break down into the vault, block off the turrets, and kill the henchman that spawns there. Unlike other henchmen, this one specifically is actually guaranteed to have and drop you a P90 once you eliminate him. That's such an important part of this strategy because even if you got unlucky with those first 3 chests you open, you're now guaranteed a great close range weapon. And that's huge since the Authority is pretty much all close range fights. I'm sure we've all experienced plenty of deaths where you open 2 to 3 chests and only get snipers or pistols. So to get a guaranteed P90 plus 3 chests in roughly the first 45 seconds after landing is very solid, and that's not even counting the possibility that you kill Jules and get the drum gun and grappler. So once you've done that very specific opening route, you now have a little bit of freedom. And this is where it's really important to be aware of your surroundings. Since I'm someone that likes to go for kills, my plan most games is to go back to the middle of the main building, probably climb the stairs for high ground and just sort of patrol the area. If I see an enemy or hear gunshots or see/hear a henchman shooting at someone, I'm gonna look for an angle on them from high ground, and if I don't have it, I'll just straight up push them. Then, once you've hopefully cleared out the middle section of the building, that's when you want to turn your focus to opening the vault. So if you haven't killed Jules yet, now would obviously be the time. She almost always spawns at or very near the middle, plus she gives off a very unique sound that'll help you find her location as long as she's relatively close. And make sure when you're killing her that you don't get too close because she can still melt you even though her drum gun is a lot worse than Midas's. Now here's a tip regarding the vault that a lot of players ignore and it ends up getting them killed. Do not go into the vault if you can hear an enemy anywhere nearby. Opening the vault makes a very distinct noise that can be heard from pretty far away, and unlike some of the other vaults in the game, there's only one possible exit from the Authority vault, and that's the entrance. So what a good player is going to do if he hears you opening it is wait for you to go inside and then just sit on the stairs that leads down to the bunker and spray you. If that happens, your only chance is to just turbo build a wall in the only spot you can to protect yourself, and then eventually just risk your game on a 50-50 AR Bloom fight. But since the enemy has a way better angle than you, that's still going to be a fight that you lose probably 90+% of the time. So if you're solo, only go in when you know it's clear, and if you're playing a team mode, have at least one player sit outside the vault while the rest of your team loots it. That way, if another team pushes, they'll mindlessly spray at the kids in the vault, and then your teammate who just stayed outside can pick up 1 to 2 easy kills before they even realize what's happening. Now, one main difference between my strategy at the Authority and my strategy at the Agency is that I'm much less likely to get suited up now. I don't know if it's intentional or not, but for some reason, when you get shot at or shoot someone else while wearing a suit, the animation where you get unsuited is so annoying now. It's like a giant white burst of light that makes it almost impossible to see anything in front of you for a solid half second. Another key difference is that I try to avoid the outskirts of the Authority until I'm totally looted and ready to leave. There are a ton of henchmen out there that can laser you if they have ARs, and also a lot of regular players will just kinda loiter around the outside bunker area and just hard aim the main building and tag anyone they see. So don't expose yourself to any of those sight lines and try to stay inside the building as much as possible until you're ready to go. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you watched the entire thing, be sure to let me know with a comment down in the comment section below. Which town or POI have you been landing at the most so far in Chapter 2 Season 3? Is it the Authority like me, or somewhere else? Be sure to leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe, turn on post notifications, do whatever the heck you want, and I will catch you guys next time.